Good people, what is going on? It's your guy, Desmond. Welcome to the All Go Podcast. It's been a minute, but I'm your host, Desmond. Wanted to come on and talk a little bit about the Lakers. But before I do that, wanted to give an update on the podcast life before get into it. I've been doing the Voice of College Football podcast with Mark Rogers and, of course, my partner Dre on the Michigan Football at the Voice of College Football channel on YouTube. It's been going great. It's been awesome. Been doing that every Wednesday from our new time is 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And then also we do post game after Michigan football games. So it's been a blast. Been having a really good time doing that. And we've been podcasting. So it's not as if we've been slacking. It's just not as much on our own channel. So I have the All Go podcast and then also the Dre and Des podcast, which we just posted an episode Sunday. So just a couple days ago. So go check that out on all of your platforms. But yeah, it's like, man, really need to get myself on this channel as well and continue to put out content because obviously we talk about Michigan football on the channel that we do every week, but to talk about other sports and things that are going on is a pleasure for me. So it's more so just a me thing. I enjoy doing it regardless of how many people listen. So appreciate it. But wanted to talk about the Lakers. They are, I believe, one game as we speak. Today is Tuesday, and they're actually getting ready to play Dallas in a couple hours. But as we speak, I believe they're one game ahead of the Spurs for 10th place in the Western Conference standings. As you probably know, the top 10 teams are ones who are eligible for the play-in tournament. 7 through 10 actually play the play-in tournament. The Lakers are not going to make the play-in tournament. There's just no way. They are just a bad team, essentially. They don't play defense well. They don't have a good mix of players. They have a lot of players who are in similar boats. Old, don't play defense, and don't shoot all that well. I mean, Carmelo's got his hot streaks. Russ has been pretty rough all year. He's had times where he would, shoot a decent percentage. I think the last game they played, he was like 50%, scored 18 points, but it's a far cry from the, mid 20s, 10-10 guy that we saw with Washington and OKC. He's just a guy that over this season has lost a lot of confidence, and there's plenty of reasons why, but I think the main thing is the expectation. I think he thought the team would be better, as odds makers did as well, but injuries have derailed the season, inconsistent play, and the only consistent that they've had are the two things. Number one, playing very bad defense, and number two, LeBron scoring at an unreal clip. I mean, he's on pace right now to win the scoring title. He's at 30.1 points per game, which is just crazy. But yeah, they're not going anywhere. But there have been reports that Anthony Davis is now playing 5-on-5. He's scrimmaging, so on and so forth. If I were running the Lakers, I would absolutely bring Anthony Davis back as soon as he can play, and hopefully he'll play out the season. I mean, there's eight games left, so yes, I would hope he would play out the season and see what happens with the play-in tournament. Can the team just get it together for one or two games to get to the actual playoffs? Excuse me. And if so, great. And let's go play Phoenix, or let's go play Memphis, or whoever's the 2 seed, and let's see what happens. The Lakers are going to lose that series no matter who they play. And this is assuming they get into the play-in tournament. But what I would do in the offseason is I would trade Anthony Davis. The whole point of me having him play the last 7-ish games, call it 9 games with the play-in tournament, is to trade him. He is just a star that you cannot depend on. Like, you can't depend on Anthony Davis. The only thing you can depend on is he's going to miss 20 plus games every single season. And I don't know If it's his nutrition, if it's his workout regimen, whatever the case is, maybe he's just not that serious about basketball, but he's not a guy that you can count on. Like we've seen it. The Lakers had, the first year that he was there in LA, they won the championship. And basically since then he's been injured pretty consistently. And that's been his track record for his career. I mean, Anthony Davis spent what I believe 7 years in New Orleans with the Pelicans, and this is his second or third year with the Lakers. So let's call it 10 years. He's been 10 years in the league. He gets hurt every year. That's just how he operates. And I just don't know how he is going to be the one to take the mantle, so to speak, after LeBron either leaves LA or retires or just kind of takes a step back, which a lot of people thought it was going to happen this year. But the guy is Superman, and he's 37 years old, averaging 30 points a game. But I just don't. Anthony Davis is not it. He's not the guy. And you consistently hear people talking on ESPN and Fox Sports that, when he's healthy, he's a top 7 guy. Number one, he's never healthy. He is never consistently healthy. And number two, I'm not sure he's a top 7 guy, because it has to be more than just he's talented. He's a 7-footer who can, shoot the three, which he's been abysmal from three this year, who can shoot the mid-range, get to the basket, protect, things like that. Yes, he has all the tools, but he doesn't bring it every night. Anthony Davis is one of the most inconsistent, if you want to call him a superstar, feel free, I'm not. He's one of the most inconsistent guys in the NBA. Yes, he absolutely has the ability to give you 35, 15, and 7, and he will do that from time to time. But the next game he'll come out and give you 15 points and 5 rebounds, and you're wondering if he even played in the game. How do you build a team around that? What can you do with that? That I would be at the point where this is just too long of a track record to look at it and think that this year is an anomaly, and that or that his 10 years is an anomaly, and the next 5 he will be flawless. He just won't. And I don't know if some of these injuries are things that he could play through. Maybe it's not, but maybe it is, and he's just not built that way to fight through injuries and play through it. And he's just a guy who is going to be injured a lot. And I can't build a championship team around him. And it's not a surprise or a shock that you see the first championship he won, he had to team up with the best player in the world, with LeBron. He wasn't going to do that on his own. I think he had won one playoff series on his own when he was with the Pelicans, and he was the guy. So I would be trading Anthony Davis, and my goal would be to my goal would be to try to get some depth. I would try to get younger. Lakers are way too old. Like Carmelo, Dwight Howard, like all those guys have to go. And I mean, and I'm going to be the GM that potentially these deals would have me lose my job, but I would cut Russell Westbrook. He's not going to be someone that that you'll be able to trade for. There's not a guy who makes $40-something million that a team doesn't want. I looked at the salaries. Nobody's making that much money in a team that doesn't want them. I would cut him. Yep, I would take a $44 million bath, and my cap would be abysmal for this year. But you are better off if he's not going to come off the bench. You're better off without him. And Frank Vogel, you're going to cost yourself your job, because there has been reports that the front office has wanted Westbrook to come off the bench, and Vogel's been resistant to that. What kind of cachet do you think that you have to where you could say that? Say no to your bosses. I get it, you won a championship in the first year, but it's not as if you did an outstanding coaching job. You had LeBron and AD for most of that season. Like that's why you won the championship. And a lot of guys got hurt for the teams that you were playing. I mean, it is a war of attrition every year, but the last 2 years seemingly it seems to have been a bigger trend. But data may show something different, but I can't do it with Russell Westbrook. And if I can't make a trade to get him out of here, I have to cut him because he just doesn't grasp the magnitude of what is of what is expected as a Laker. He makes things worse. Like I get it. You're not playing well, but you going up to the podium and saying that you didn't have any expectations coming into the season and that none of negativity doesn't bug you, you were built for adversity, but then also saying that it's tough for you, because people are teasing you, calling you Westbrook, that that's hurtful, and your family doesn't want to come to games, so on and so forth. You just don't make anything any easier on yourself. It'd be great if Russell Westbrook came to the podium and just said, man, I had a tough night tonight. I got to play better. I turned the ball over too much, missed too many shots. I've got to focus on, getting involved in other ways when the shot's not falling. I got to rebound. I got to play defense a little better. Get other guys involved. Look to my teammates. But it's just a tough night. Kind of let my guys down. Next game I'll be better. Tomorrow when we watch the film, really hone in and try to see where I can be better. See what I can do different and move on from there. I think that would go a long way, Russ. But he's one of those guys. He's kind of the bull in the china shop, a little bullheaded as far as his demeanor, and it's okay. But you got to understand that when you're playing for a franchise like the Lakers, the expectation's different. It's not just, hey, no, this is fine. Everything's cool. You got a triple-double. Doesn't matter how you shot. Doesn't matter how many times you turned it over. We lost a close one. It's okay. That's not this. The Lakers were coming into this looking for a championship. And I did a video. I was actually looking at one of the last videos I did, but it was the day after the Russ trade, and I had said that this is not going to work because you have a ball dominant guy in Russ, and LeBron's also a ball dominant guy. It's not going to work because neither one of those guys can play that well off the ball. They can't. And I think the Lakers' first issue with this year was having LeBron. I think he should have stayed at point guard. He was 25-10 in the bubble season as the primary point guard, and the Lakers were able to, go really big and out rebounded teams and just crushed them on the glass. Well, you're a lot bigger team when your point guard is 6'9", and when he goes from 6'9" to 6'3", it changes things a bit. But Russ is just not a good decision maker with the ball, and LeBron is. And I thought that the Lakers should have kept him at the point guard position. Try to get a couple wing guys in. Malik Monk plays the 2. You had guys that that were playing the wing, KCP, but you ended up trading those guys away. But Kyle Kuzma, you had wing guys there, and it just I understand the allure of a superstar like Russell Westbrook, but you've got to look at the style of play. And I don't think the Lakers, whoever made the decision, I don't think they did a good job of looking at that. And now they are paying for it. They're not going to make the play-in tournament. They're not a good team. And they've got a lot of work to do after the season's over. So we'll see what happens. Thanks so much for checking it out. Appreciate it. Have a good one.